The following contest is a stretcher match. Approaching the ring first from San Antonio, Texas, is the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
I sent you up and down their spine, just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm not your boy toy.
Shawn Michaels is one of the most decorated champions in the history of sports entertainment. But his latest claim to fame came at WrestleMania when he retired the legendary Ric Flair, and it was that really began this saga. It went to the next level at Backlash, where Shawn Michaels feigned that injury, claiming he would do whatever it takes to win, and that is what angered the Animal Batista and led to tonight's matchup.
Indeed, Michael, because HBK lived up to his word at WrestleMania, but following the revelation that Heartbreak Kid had indeed been feigning the injury, Batista said simply, Shawn, I'm going to hurt you. Tonight we'll see if the Animal lives up to his word.
And of course the agreement was when Ric Flair lost the matchup, he would be forced to retire. It was an edict handed down by Mr. McMahon. Flair was beaten by Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania. Flair had to retire, but Batista, a longtime protege and friend of Flair, said, Shawn, why did you have to do it? Why didn't you just lay down at WrestleMania and allow Flair to continue to ride the roads one more time?
Would you look at the intensity of those eyes, the eyes of the Animal?
Two nights ago, Batista said the time for talking is over. Batista beat Jericho a couple of weeks ago on Raw to get this matchup against Shawn Michaels, this stretcher match. And remember what Batista said, I will hurt you, Shawn. I am a man of my word.
And I think he's made a believer out of the Heartbreak Kid. Have you ever seen Shawn Michaels with a look of concern like he's wearing tonight?
And the question with Batista is what emotion is driving him tonight, Mick? Is it the emotion that he was embarrassed and humiliated because he fell for Shawn Michaels' trick? Or is it the emotion that he was hurt because his friend Shawn Michaels lied to him?
Well, I believe it's all of the above, but definitely it manifested itself in a hatred that I have never seen before from the Animal. He just literally cannot stand Shawn Michaels.
And Shawn Michaels going right after Batista, really part of the matchup, again, stretcher matchup. You must damage your opponent to the point that you can put him on a stretcher and wheel him over the finish line and won a right hand by Batista. Mick, the question is, will this animosity hurt or help the Animal? Went for the Batista bomb early on, and Batista...
Good. If it was onto that stretcher, as I said, the stretcher can be used as a weapon. If this was any other match, I'd say the nervous energy that hatred creates might work against the Animal. But this is not a match whose goal is a 1, 2, 3. It's far worse than that.
Oh, and Michaels! And you mentioned earlier on, Mick, how you can use the stretcher as a weapon in this matchup. That is what Batista did there. Watch Batista exploding out of the box.
A big clothesline takes on an added dimension in this type of match.
And the crafty veteran Shawn Michaels turning the table. You heard Batista's impact into those steel steps.
If this was a normal match, possibly the nervous energy that Batista's hatred has created might work against him and allow Shawn Michaels to score a quick fall, but that will be a moot point in a stretcher match.
Well, in all due respect, Nick, I'm not sure if this is hatred. I think it's more passion and emotion. A very determined Batista, who, as I mentioned before, was embarrassed by Shawn Michaels at Backlash.
Oh, man! cracking the skull of the animal. Well, it's also about competition, but I had a chance to talk to Batista earlier today. I'll go out on a limb and say he hates the Heartbreak Kid.
Well, Shawn Michaels, who many people question how he could win this matchup, being it's going to be so physical. Well, this is one way Shawn Michaels can do it. Oh, the gravity style of the veteran Shawn Michaels.
Now, in a match like this, repetition might be Shawn Michaels' best friend, whereas even a great move like Sweet Chin Music might not be enough to put the animal on a stretcher. A second or third kick might do the trick.
For the first time in their careers, both of these men are involved in a stretcher matchup. It is new ground for both of them. Ooh, both former world champions. And Shawn Michaels.
And here's that stretcher looking to be used into the midsection of the animal.
And to drive the wind from the lungs of Batista. Again, incapacitate your opponent to the point you can put him on that stretcher and wheel him over the finish line.
It's all about mindset. In a match like this, it depends on which combatant, Michaels or Batista, is willing to do the most damage, willing to do whatever's necessary. Here comes,
Shawn doing what's ever necessary so far in the matchup. And look at Shawn almost stalking the animal. Stretcher into the jaw of Batista.
No doubt about it, up to this point, Batista has been the aggressor in pursuing this match. But now that the match is upon us, Michaels is striking first and often.
Well, Shawn Michaels realizes he must strike first and often. I think the longer this matchup goes, the more it favors Batista.
He put him on the stretcher. Here's our first attempt.
And Batista battling out, realizing he's in the danger zone. The red zone once he gets on that stretcher, using every part of his body to battle out. And Batista outside the ring. Shawn Michaels in trouble. Going for the
Big trouble, big trouble.
And Shawn Michaels hanging on. And a great counter by Shawn Michaels for the moment.
He's holding on, possibly. He's got that chokehold locked in, maybe sapping the strength of the big man.
And if Batista is choked out here, if Batista passes out here, Shawn Michaels needs to put him on the stretcher and wheel him out.
I'm not sure we can see from here.
Batista appears to be fading now.
As much as I alluded to the fact that there was a certain level of animosity on the part of Batista, it appears as if Shawn Michaels might not hold Batista in high regard when it comes to likability.
In other words, you're saying that Shawn hates Batista. As Shawn Michaels looks to end this matchup, Batista may be out. Shawn's got to wheel that stretcher over the finish line.
He really may have choked the life, or at least the consciousness, out of Batista, but it's a long way down to that finish line. Maybe I went too far. I thought I may have gone too far in using that word hatred, but perhaps it's appropriate.
And Batista battling out. Perhaps on instinct alone, but the animal realized he was in trouble. You notice how quickly Batista got himself off that stretcher.
It's got to be disheartening for the Heartbreak Kid to do that much damage to the animal and find it bore no fruit for him.
And let's not forget, Shawn Michaels apologized, Mick. He came out and said he needed to apologize for the first time ever in his career. He feigned that injury. But Michaels said he did what he had to do to win. Something he's been doing his entire career. One of the reasons he's won 3 WWE championships, 1 world title.
Sure, and if this was any other matchup, I'd have to give the nod to Shawn Michaels, who in my mind may be the greatest wrestler of this generation. But a match with this much emotion.
And that could be the turning point. The power game of Batista, tossing Shawn Michaels around.
He may have broken Shawn Michaels in half. As you know, Shawn Michaels has well-documented history of lower back injuries.
Watch this, kidney first into the apron. And there's no give, Mick, on that apron. That's really a steel rail that surrounds the ring.
Certainly not, and that would be interesting to see how the animal follows up with that bit of offense.
Now it's Batista as the aggressor, turning Shawn literally inside and out. There is the finish line. You must wheel your opponent on a stretcher over that line to win this matchup. Batista continues to attack the back of Shawn Michaels.
As I said earlier, Michael, it may reach a point where the mind is willing, but the body is simply not able. And over the next several minutes, we'll see which man wants it more, which man is willing to inflict the type of punishment.
What a slam by Batista. Admit, to your point, Shawn Michaels has been known as one of the most resilient competitors in the history of WWE.
He is resilient, but he's never been in a stretcher match with Batista. And what I fear is that resiliency may prove to be the Heartbreak Kid's undoing in a matchup like this.
The temperamental Batista measuring his man. Stalking Shawn in the veteran sidestep. And Batista shoulder first into the steel post.
Shawn Michaels has been in so many conflicts, so many issues, that avoiding that that knockout blow is almost instinctive. Now let's go back about 10 days ago to a match that Batista had with MVP. Batista had to win the match with a one-arm powerbomb.
Also the match with Jericho. The shoulder was injured as well, and Shawn Michaels has had Batista scouted. Oh, and Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, the gutsy and courageous Shawn Michaels is back in this match.
Here he comes, but he does not look to be 100%.
A very determined Michaels here tonight goes to the top rope. Batista in trouble. Shawn Michaels looking to deliver the death knell.
But Shawn Michaels, big elbow!
Michaels, elbow to the heart, but did he damage his own back?
Keep in mind, Shawn Michaels, usually the smaller man in every contest he's in, has beaten many a man when less than 100%, but can he do it here?
Watch Shawn Michaels.
Taking flight, and a big elbow, but immediately showing signs of lower back injury.
But the spirited Shawn Michaels.
He's tuning up the band, Michael.
Looking for sweet chin music. The move that put Batista away when Michaels feigned the injury, and he ran into a clothesline. And this time Batista was not going to get caught. And this could be the beginning of the end of the Heartbreak Kid. Batista's months of wanting to punish Michaels may be coming to fruition here. Batista!
Oh, no.
Look at this!
No, not over the rope.
It looked like he was going to try to Batista bomb Shawn onto the stretcher.
Oh, my God!
He caught him! The super kick caught him! Batista's on the stretcher! Can Shawn capitalize?
And there's a glazed look in the animal's eyes. I said before it might take more than one kick, but that landed with such authority that could Michaels jump up, he may have that match won.
Look at the eyes of Batista. They are glazed over. The animal's clueless. Michaels simply needs to push the stretcher with Batista on it over the finish line.
Sweet chin music coming out of nowhere may spell the end to the hopes and dreams of the animal.
A thunderous roar for Shawn Michaels. Determined to drag that stretcher.
Look at Batista literally holding onto the ring apron, doing whatever he can to prevent defeat.
And now it's up to Shawn Michaels to drag the stretcher and the carcass over the finish line. Does Michaels have what it takes to do it? Oh, and Batista. Instinctively, perhaps.
I'm not sure the animal even willed that, or if it was just a strange coincidence, but he is now off the stretcher, and a man of such bulk may be difficult to lift back onto the ground.
Yeah, nearly dead weight that Shawn Michaels has got to place back on the stretcher. And that stretcher's not stable, as you can see. It's rolling around all over the place. And Batista, now it's the animal with fight left in it. But how much fight does Batista have left? Battering ram-like stretcher.
Michaels is, to this point, just dissecting the animal, working on his midsection, his jaw, his shoulder, now his thigh.
Well, one thing that may have hurt Batista, Nick, is that Shawn Michaels had a good couple of weeks to prepare for this matchup. You knew the wheels were turning. You knew Shawn would have a game plan coming into this match against Batista. But there's the strength of the animal.
And perhaps, Cole, perhaps I was wrong. Perhaps the animosity that Batista's been carrying around for so long.
Look at
the stretcher.
Using the stretcher. A fervent comeback by Batista, battering away at Michaels.
I expected the offense of the animal to be extreme, but I had no idea he'd resort to these measures. Very impressive.
Watch Shawn's head. Watch Shawn's head here.
Oh, man. just snapping it back.
And it's again Batista on the offensive. A seesaw battle in this story that has been ripe with deceit and dishonesty and backstabbing and trickery.
I expected the offense, the Batista bomb, the spear, running power slam, but to use the means at his disposal has been ultra impressive. Look at the eyes of the animal. Oh, goodness, there it is.
And again, this is a stretcher match. Batista's got to put Shawn Michaels on the stretcher, wheel the stretcher over the finish line to win this thing. And Batista, it may be the beginning of the end for the Heartbreak Kid. Batista bomb!
That may be enough. That tremendous spear followed by a thunderous power bomb. Batista bomb may be enough. He's looking at that stretcher, Michael. Just dragging Michaels with one hand.
Shawn Michaels down and out, and Batista needs to place him on the stretcher and wheel it over the finish line to end this thing once and for all.
I said earlier, this is an issue that has divided the WWE dressing room. It's divided our great WWE fans as well. Wait a second.
You got more than this. Come on, you're better than this. Come on, son, get back inside that ring. Come on, you're better than this. Come on. Show them what you got. Once you get in there and show them what you got, you got more heart than this. You got more heart than this, son. You're Shawn Michaels. Come on, let's go. We just go out. Let's go. Hey, come on. Come on. Get them now. Hey, you better get out of here right now.
Chris Jericho inspiring Shawn Michaels, willing Shawn Michaels on.
Words of encouragement, but maybe now the animal has second thoughts. He's rolling the Heartbreak Kid back inside the ring, maybe to inflict further punishment.
Well, Batista, who looked to be moments away from winning this stretcher matchup, but we're going to have to see if that interlude that involved Jericho could help Michaels here.
On a night of extremes, this stretcher match may prove to be the most extreme of all.
Batista, is he going for a second Batista bomb? And he is! After Batista echoed the words that Shawn Michaels said to Ric Flair in the waning moments of their match at WrestleMania.
But he put his own twist on them, unless I'm incorrect. It seemed like he put his own twist on those fateful words.
What's important now is Batista maybe closing in on winning this stretcher match and ending this months and months of personal battles with Shawn Michaels. He's got to wheel the stretcher over the finish line. Can Batista do it? Batista wheeling the carcass of Michaels toward the line.
What are you doing? Get out of here!
So close, so close.
Shawn!
And now Jericho is actually blocking the progress of the animal. Trying to will Shawn Michaels off that stretcher.
Come on, Shawn, get back in there. Show what you got. Come on.
Almost as if the animal is welcoming the opportunity to inflict more punishment.
Understand this, but Batista, Shawn Michaels,
I can only guess.
no. Oh!
kill, Cole.
And Batista with the final exclamation point, and mercifully, this is over.
Batista!
Well, Batista here tonight at One Night Stand, Extreme Rules. Nick was truly a man of his word. He said he was going to hurt Shawn Michaels, and indeed he did.
Well, in the end, despite the fact that Chris Jericho came out and tried to will Shawn Michaels back into contention, in the end, the power of Batista just too much for Heartbreak Kid to handle.